Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and today's video we're going to talk a little bit about something a little bit different than what we normally talk about. Yes, it's still on a spiritual nature, but it's something that I've not really covered on this channel before, and that is the Akashic Records or Akashic readings. And I wanted to talk about them and just discuss, why do we have them? Do we really need them? Do we really need to have an Akashic Records reading? And what use are they in everyday life and on your spiritual path? So if you don't know what Akashic Records are, and I'm sure many of you do who are on this channel, who subscribe to the channel because of the nature of the channel, and I'm sure you might have heard of them before if you're not totally sure of what they are. And there are various beliefs and understandings of what the Akashic Records are. However, my understanding and my belief is that the Akashic Records and your Akashic Records are basically an imprint of information that is held within the universe of your life, your soul journey, of where it has been, where it has incarnated, the various lives and existences that you've had, and also the learning you need to take on your journey. And it also helps you kind of understand where you are in life a little bit, and who you are in life, and why certain things make you behave in certain ways. So it basically gives you a greater understanding and awareness of who you are. So how do we hear about Akashic Records? Usually, like for me, for my instance, I only heard about Akashic Records when I was doing my Reiki training with my teacher, and he'd mentioned them. And how we had a couple of readings, and how they did help in some way to sort of like find new levels of focus in his life and direction, and things that he needed to do to bring some more of this into his life and let go of more of that. So I thought that would be quite an interesting path to go down, so I decided to book myself. So over the last sort of maybe 10 years, maybe, I've had about three Akashic readings in total, and they've all been very, very different, obviously, because you're at different incremental stages of your journey. So the first reading that I had, the lady who I went to see, she asked if I had an open mind, and obviously I thought I had, until she started discussing what was going on, and what she was picking up on, and gave me a lot of information about where I am, the direction that I am, who I am, who I've been, why certain things make me react and behave in certain ways, why I may feel this towards this and this towards that. So that first reading for me gave me a greater insight and understanding of who I am, and why I behave the way I am, and what my soul is basically here to do, and what I'm here to look for, basically. And so it was really, really interesting, and gave me that little bit of insight. So then after that, I was like, well, now, because after I had the reading, I was like, well, now what do I do with this? I didn't really know what to do with the information that I was given, and I was recorded it on my phone, so I could listen back to it. So I got in touch with the lady again, and I said, look, I've had all this information, but now I don't know what to do with it. I don't know how to process it or how to integrate it, and what does it mean for everyday life. And basically the message that she gave me was, well, you'll get from the reading what you need. Your soul will take in the information that you need to get from it, and from there you will go on and you will pick up different things along the way. Your soul will learn different things, will learn different skills and what have you. And the other interesting thing that she'd said was, when you come to listen to your recording at different points, maybe listen to it again in 6 months' time, you might be aware of more things then that might seem like you didn't hear it at that time. And that's because that's what you need to hear now. So, and that did happen to me. That was really, really interesting. So I listened to it a couple of times, and I thought, right, okay, I've taken in what I need to to try and get some sort of level of understanding of what this all means. And then I left it for about 6 months, and I listened again, and I thought, oh, I do not remember any of these pieces of information. So that's when I remembered her saying, if you hear something that you don't remember, then that's something that you need to be aware of now on your journey. So it was then probably about 2 or 3 years after, I thought, you know what, I'm going to go back for another reading and see where we're at. And this was after 2020, I think it was. It was just after. So went round, had the reading again, and again this was again totally different to the first one, because she was aware of the amount of healing work that I'd done, and the journey in my vibrational level that I was on. So it was a lot of different information that came through. But why do we go for Akashic readings? You know, and what do we need to do them for? What do we need to have an Akashic reading for? And basically for me, and probably for those people that have had them, they give you a little bit of clarity. They give you clarity of where you are in your life, why you are the certain way that you are, and you can become aware of certain things that you need to work on a healing level, on a spiritual healing level. There might be things that you need to let go of from previous lives, which is something you can do through various modalities such as hypnotherapy or Reiki, because that does a lot of past healing as well. But there's various levels of of healing that we can do over the period of time, and the healing takes as long as it takes. It's not like something that happens and then straight away it's all healed. It is a gradual process through that. And the other thing I think a lot of people feel drawn to the Akashic readings for is basically just curiosity, to see what it's all about, to see what it all means, to see what they mean. And initially when I had my first reading, I was just like, I have no idea what she's talking about. I have no idea what this really means. But then over time, I'm guessing a part of your soul becomes awakened on another level to this information, so you become more receptive of it over time. And do I feel I would have any more readings? I said currently no, I probably wouldn't bother having any more. Like I say, I've had 3 in total, the 2 with the same person and 1 with a different person, and again, they've all been very, very unique and very, very different, and the information and the way the information was given was very different and unique. The first 2 readings was with a medium. The other reading that I had was with a psychic and astrologer, numerologist and Reiki practitioner. Oh, and she does hypnotherapy as well. She also has a channel called Akashic Records, so go and check her out. She does some really, really great work. So, but currently, I don't think I will probably go for another one, not in the near future. I don't feel drawn to it. And I think it's something that you do just feel drawn to on some level. You do feel internally that there's a calling for something, but you don't know what it is. And it's that kind of, it's that leveling up of your journey, of your spiritual awareness, of your spiritual self, your true self. It's that leveling up, and it's just taking things that little bit deeper. You can also send Reiki to your Akashic Records as well. So I have a book by Sarah Jessica Parker, and she talks about Reiki and spiritual Reiki and sending Reiki to your Akashic Records. I've also done it myself, where there's been various situations that have arisen from the Akashic Records that I've sent Reiki to. And I haven't noticed a shift, a difference in that thing, in what it was that I was reacting to. So, Akashic Records, they are interesting, and I think we're all drawn to them on our own unique way. We will be drawn to them again, uniquely as well by various people. It might just be in passing conversation, or you might see a video about Akashic Records. You might even see this video about Akashic Records, and something in this video or something in another video that you watch might trigger something in you, and a spark of curiosity, and think, oh, you know what, there's something in my life I want to get some answers to. And it can go a little bit deeper on a soul level rather than just like the surface level of, say, a psychic reading or something like that. So they are very, very interesting, and definitely a part of a spiritual process and a spiritual growth process. But I think you come to a point where you really don't need them anymore, and it's more about, you get to a point where you're just more at peace with who you are, where you are, the life that you're living, and being more in the present moment and not dwelling too much on the whys and wherefores in the past and that sort of stuff. And you just become more harmonious and more balanced in your own nature in the time that you are living now, in the present moment, and being aware that whatever you're working on now in the present moment in this lifetime is also having a direct effect on the past lives and the future lives as well. So the Akashic readings, Akashic Records, a very, very interesting subject, something that I've not really talked much about on this channel, but I just wanted to just dip my toes into the water with regards to it with anyone that might be interested about Akashic readings and records and not really sure what they are. If you're wanting to work on your own Akashic Records, you can actually go and visit your own Akashic Records. It takes a lot of practice. I've not done it as yet, but it's a lot to do with visualization and just being in the mind. And again, some people might say, well, people could just be making it all up, you know, because some of the information can be quite outlandish, and you just think, wow, this is like a bit out of my league, a bit out of my area of expertise. But if you feel it, if it resonates, then take it on board. If it doesn't resonate, then just let it go. Don't be too fixated and don't dwell too much on the information. If it needs to be there, if you need to be aware of it, it will come through, and it will be something that will help you progress and maybe get you over a hurdle that you may be facing in everyday life. So I hope this video helps on some level for anyone that's thinking about the Akashic Records and wanting to have a reading. Go online, there's lots of practitioners. I don't practice it, I don't do Akashic readings. Sometimes they come up in Reiki sessions, but it's nothing sort of concise and consistent. It's just like flashes every now and again, but nothing major, not an actual Akashic reading. So there is lots of people that do it, but like I say, if you go over to Akashic Beck, check out her YouTube channel, and she does lots of Akashic readings, as well as the astrology and numerology and the Reiki work, and also the SCHH work as well. So I hope this helps. Do like and follow for more if you found this information useful for your spiritual journey and for your growth, and I will see you in the next video. Much love, do take care, bye for now.